Galactic Standard Date. Year 11356. Day 90. Sol Standard Date. 4th of the 2nd, 3267. Basilisk knew what he had to do. Mayer was planning to take the fight to the floofs. He needed to protect them all somehow. The question was how to protect the floofs. "Maleficus! I know you can hear me. I need to talk with you," he yelled. A black fire erupted in front of him, and the quadrupedal creature stepped out of the flames. The black scaled feet with 7 different 5-foot-long talons broke through the flames first, raking the ground. Then the massive fanged maw of the scaly creature. The head of the creature was elongated, with horns sticking out in every direction. Then, the black-scaled body came through, beating the massive black-scaled wings that had a span of 65 feet. A massive black dragon, with red eyes and spikes growing out of any patch of body that it had enough surface area to support the 2-foot-long spikes. "You called. What do you need this time? I already dubbed you the Soul Vessel of Hatred and granted you the title of Death. You have my power to wield as you wish, old friend. When I granted you my powers and renamed you accordingly, I gave you everything I had to offer," she said. Basilisk sat down. "That may be the case, my friend. Yet I believe you can help me once again. I find my current vessel lacking. I do not have the capacity to fight Mael's legions without opening unshielded rifts and exposing my people to the Veil. What I need is simple. I need a vessel capable of holding greater amounts of Veil. Mael is planning on wiping out several other civilizations simply because they had the misfortune of meeting me. I was willing to play the long game while retaining my humanity before. But I now have to protect the floofies as well. I need your help," he said. Maleficus lay down and brought her head level with Basilisk. "John, when I named you Basilisk, my intent was always for you to rule. You bested me, a literal goddess, and to top it all you spared my life. I am here to help, but there is only one way for you to increase the amount of Veil you could hold within you, my friend. You may not be able to retain your sanity. After you help me regain my own sanity, I do not want to take chances," she said solemnly. Basilisk sighed. "What else could we do, then? What, other than changing my form, could we do? How else will I be able to hold back the tide of Azarian scum? You want to kill Mael as bad as I do," he said. Maleficus spewed a gout of black flame from her nose, as she considered it. "You could take me. As in take me with you out into your reality. I can make myself smaller so it wouldn't be an issue finding space for me," she said. Basilisk just let his jaw fall open. You can come to my reality? I thought you guys were kind of locked into the Veil. What happened to that?" he asked incredulously. Maleficus looked off to the side. "Well, the only way that any of the gods can leave the Veil is, well, you and I have known each other a long time, right? We have been talking for the last few 100,000 years in Veil time. Well," she said. Basilisk sighed. "Out with it, Mal. Time may run slower than whale shit in here, but I still don't feel like I have a lot of time." Maleficus turned her head all the way round, looking behind her. "Well, for a god to leave the Veil, firstly, we must meet someone who was not born to Veil, but has survived the Veil. Second, we must determine that they are equal to or greater than us. If we have any sense of superiority and arrogance, the ritual tends to fail. Third, we have to perform a very specific ritual," she said. Basilisk could see the 50-foot-long tail swishing behind Mal rather quickly. "So, what does this ritual entail? You're keeping me on the edge of my seat here," he said. Maleficus looked back to Basilisk with a fire in her eyes that he hadn't ever seen before. "The only god to ever succeed in this before was the elven goddess of love and life. We have to, become one?" she said sheepishly. Basilisk's eyes widened beyond belief as his faux-skinned face began to turn red. "Oh," was all he said. Maleficus was fidgeting. "Look, we don't have to. We can just forget about this whole thing. I'm sorry I suggested such a thing," she yelled hurriedly. Basilisk looked Maleficus in the eyes. Are you serious, though? I knew you considered me a friend, but that seems a bit more than friends to me. I also wasn't saying that I'm not open to the idea, but I mean, how would that even work? He said. Maleficus scratched at the ground in front of her. Well, once we both chant our matching words of power, I will enter into your soul. Once I do so, all of our memories, emotions, and thoughts are shared, she said, clearly embarrassed. Basilisk began laughing. Oh! Holy shit! That's it? Wow! You actually had me a bit worried there, Mal, he yelled. Maleficus blinked a few times. That's it? You're okay with it? You want to do it with me? She asked. Basilisk just patted her snout. Sure, Mel, we can start now. Although, we will need to rename you for mortal ears, Mel. You can come up with a name yourself, or, if you prefer it, I can rename you, he said. Maleficus gave him a fanged smile. You can rename me? I would like a pretty name, though, she said cheerfully. Basilisk pondered it for a moment. How about Amaranth? He asked. Maleficus smiled wide and nodded her head. It's perfect, Basilisk. From now on, I will only call you Basilisk, and you call me Amaranth, she said, practically brimming with happiness. Basilisk was just smiling at all the happy dragon noises as he thought to himself, she is just a giant immortal floof. Yet she was once hailed as the icon of evil. Ha ha!